Reliable reliever right there. Welcome, everybody. Give him a round of applause, please.
Everybody. Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you.
I do have a question, though.
We have ice if you need it for the arm, dude. You threw a billion innings.
It's a noodle.
Okay, so Reyzelman or Reyzelman?
Reyzelman.
Okay, so it is Reyzelman.
What have you been saying, Reyzelman?
No, I've been saying Reyzelman, and someone said it was Reyzelman, then I'll say, I think it's Reyzelman, and so I wanted to make sure that...
I said Reyzelman because he had a little rise on the fastball, so I thought I was going to make a thing.
I think Coach Johnson says Reyzelman, so...
Okay.
Do you correct him? Do you care?
No, not
I mean, I care. I want you to say the name right.
At this point, you can correct
people
it.
don't say Mahtook. They say Mahtook. They say a bunch of weird names for me, and I'd rather them say Mahtook. Sometimes I've gotten 4 different announced. I gotta go up to the plate for 4 different at bats, and I get 4 different names: Mikie, Mikey,
Mahtook.
Mahtook, Mahtook.
Tookie.
No, not Tookie. They don't give me nicknames. Anyway, it's not about me. This is about our closer. Throws rocket balls.
Cheese balls.
Cheese balls. We're getting a bunch of cheese balls brought in here. The big bucket of cheese balls.
Oh, jeez.
And so for every K that you have, I'm making one of them eat cheese
I
balls.
thought you were going to lay it on me. It's
We're
not
at
gonna be
22
me.
puffs.
22 puffs. No, but we have to catch up. And then every weekend, however many strikeouts you have, I'm making them eat them because you're throwing cheese balls. But Eric Reyzelman in studio, he is a trooper. He told me he couldn't come because he's a very good student and didn't want to miss class. Then calls me and says, hey, class was very short. I can come in and talk anyway.
Was class very short?
15 minutes.
15 minutes.
15 minutes.
15 minutes. Can you hear him? Does he need
Yeah,
a mic?
get into that thing.
Pull the mic a little closer to you. There
Perfect,
we go.
perfect,
There we
perfect.
go. All right, let's get into it. Have you always thrown rocket balls? And if you have, did TJ help, hurt? I would assume the rehab from TJ, you came back throwing harder after. I would assume, right? That's kind of like the standard, right? You go through Tommy John, you go through rehab, you come back, your arm feels better than it did before. Am I wrong or am I right, or how did that go?
Yeah, I mean, in a way, beforehand, kind of was really inconsistent.
Because you were a starter, right?
Yeah.
At San Francisco, you were a starter.
Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of started only played a year of high school baseball, so my senior year was the year.
What are you doing?
I got cut till my senior year.
What?
Oh, this
Michael
makes it even
Jordan?
better.
What?
This makes it even better. So did you not? So when did it click for you? Well, actually, keep going. I don't want to cut you off.
Oh no. I mean, yeah, there was the whole way it happened was kind of bizarre, but I mean it all happened the right way. Dominoes fell in place the way they did. It all kind of
Yeah. Were you like a late bloomer? Like, did you grow?
Oh yeah.
So like you're like a small guy.
I was tiny.
So then you grew. When did you grow? Junior go to senior year?
Yeah. Like
you started throwing hard?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'd always kind of had a quicker arm.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what to do with it. Mechanics were awful. Kind of the whole bit like that. But the arm was always quick. Like the ability was always there, and I just never put it together. Never had the work ethic kind of through my first couple of years of high school. And our high school was number 2 in the country for 2 years in a row.
What high school did you go to?
De La Salle.
Oh yeah. They're a big football high school too, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, now bigger in baseball than football.
Right, but I remember that's how I kind of remember the name De La Salle. Was that the big winning streak?
It was.
There you go. See?
Football.
Look
Yeah,
at
yes, I do that
see?
too. See, I think De La Salle. Whenever I hear, would you say it?
De La Salle.
De La
De La Salle.
Salle.
I think De La Salle from New Orleans because that's what they call it there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's not about you, Lois, but
But I'm glad you didn't go to that one. You got a guy.
So then you go to De La Salle, and you get to San Francisco.
Yeah. And
Was that the only offer you had?
it was. I got it actually before I had made a junior varsity team. It was the summer going into my senior year, so I gotten that offer just by making a travel ball team in our area that summer, having a good couple tournaments, and got an offer and jumped on it right away.
Of course. Were you getting when you? I mean, I guess after in baseball, once you make the commitment, teams kind of lay off. It's not like football where like you make a commitment somewhere and it doesn't matter, and like teams still come after you.
Yeah.
So like, were teams still interested in you, or did you already sign, or were you just committed to San Francisco?
I verbally committed the summer before my senior year, so I mean it was a verbal commitment. There was no lock or anything, but I was going to stick to it. I mean, I was really
Right.
grateful to them for giving me the opportunity. With nothing really to my name at that point, and the pitching coach who committed me actually I never got to have him as a coach. He left.
Who was the head coach there?
It was Nino Giarratano.
So funny story about Nino. So I played for Nino, Team USA. He was our one of the assistants on my Team USA team in college. So I know Nino. I met his son. His son works for the guy that I hit with in Miami,
Nico.
Yeah. And then he has his older sister, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So Nino, I remember Nino. I played against him. So you were there. You were there for how 2 years?
2 years.
And you had Tommy John. What would you have to? When you went to San Francisco, were you low 90s, upper 80s?
So I mean, I came in like that summer. Just kind of speaking to how inconsistent it was. Like this summer coming in, I had fun with my travel team that last summer, and went out to a couple tournaments. I'm young, so I was able to go play with like the high school juniors and seniors as I was going into college.
You're dominating.
I mean, it was fun. We had a good time.
The oldest trick in the baseball book.
Yeah. You're having a good time. You're having a good time.
So we went. We had some fun.
Down.
And like the last tournament, like I got up to like 93, 94, which was like the hardest I'd ever thrown.
Oh,
okay. And then I get to campus and just get my butt kicked with the workouts, with the lifts. I'd never really been in the weight room.
Right.
Like I was tiny. I came in, that freshman year, I was like, maybe 5'11", maybe 6 foot, like 179 pounds. So like, I mean, it was not anything to the frame. And I mean, they really got me in the weight room.
What are you now, like 6'2", 6'3"?
Yeah, 6'2", 6'3".
So you grew in college.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, my brother got the real genes, the 6'5", 250 tight end genes. So
he plays.
Wait, did he have any eligibility left?
He played at Fresno State.
Oh,
so he
nice.
was with Derek Carr.
And Devontae. All those guys.
Adams?
Yeah.
So are you a 49ers fan?
I am.
What are y'all gonna do? Is Jimmy G gonna be the guy?
Wait, why are you not a Raiders fan?
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not. Trey Lance. We'll see.
You think he'd be good?
We'll see. Okay. Might take a year or two, but I think so.
Okay. I think he could. I think he's talented.
Yeah. No doubt.
All right. So you're there. So you had Tommy John at San Francisco after your second year there.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, it was my freshman year.
Your freshman year. So then you recovered and then had another year there, right? Yes. After the year. So how did that, like, what went into that rehab? Now, I know now, like Tommy John, it still sucks, the year recovery for a pitcher, but it's not as scary of a recovery as it used to be.
Sure.
Right? Because it's, modern day science and understanding, and there's been a lot of them. And now with like pitching labs and all these the new technology and the new science behind pitching, did that go into your rehab? Did that help you, like, weighted balls? Like, did that help a different type of, I guess, was it a different type of arm care for you after Tommy John or while you're doing Tommy John than it has been in the past?
I mean, it was the first time I'd really done anything. Like, it was the first time I really, like, my last outing before I had hurt my UCL was like the best I'd ever thrown in my life. Like, it was an inning in the 8th inning at Bakersfield. I was a freshman, kind of getting a couple starts, making a couple relief appearances.
The ball flies at Bakersfield too.
Yeah. So
there's a high 18.
It was like a 2-1 game. I came in like bottom of the 8th. Hadn't got in all weekend. It was a Sunday, so just a bunch of pent up energy. Went in, and through like a 1-2-3 inning, got up to 96 for the first time ever.
Okay. Just getting thresholds, breaking thresholds.
Wait, were you peeking?
What was that?
Are you peeking at like the gun, see what you're hitting?
Not that outing. I mean, like, I didn't even know until I got out of it, and then they told me when I walked off the field, and I mean, I was pretty fired up, and with stuff like that, when you don't really have the best work ethic in the weight room at that point, and not the best body for it, and you throw that
hard on yourself. I wasn't trying.
Yeah, but have you seen a picture of him with no shirt on before? Like at LSU, he's shredded. This guy's Shred McGriff over here.
It took a while for me to like realize what it took to play at the level.
Onlyfans.com.
But yeah, no, and kind of literally the next week I tore my UCL, so couldn't have one without the other, and I realized that, and so going into that rehab, it was the turning point for me. Where
did you have to rehab? Did you have to find someone to rehab, or did you rehab on campus with like the school, like the campus doctors or team that the doctors of the team recommended, or did you go out and find somebody to help you do that?
I got so lucky. I mean, we had the best physical therapy office. Specifically, I mean, they worked with a lot of TJ guys right across the street from campus, and it was through COVID. So
yeah.
I was home, so it was like a 45-minute drive every day to go to PT, go home. And I loved it. Like, got into it. Started getting the body better. Everything kind of started going in the right direction, and
kind of changed your life a little bit, huh?
a little bit. Oh,
And then,
TJ for sure.
so then you finish. You go back and pitch the next year after COVID in San Francisco.
Yeah.
You throw, and then you go pitch in the Cape. So how did your transition, how do you get from San Francisco to, I'm going to go pitch in the Cape? Were you looking to go somewhere else? Like, were you using the Cape as a showcase to go another college? Or you just want to show scouts what you've got? Or like what, like was your velo up after TJ the next year? Like how did all that work out?
It was crazy. I mean, I tried to come back way too early. I tried to come back at like 10 and a half months.
Oh, yeah, that's fast.
So I started our second game of the season against UCLA.
It's fast.
1 inning stint.
Good for you, bro.
Lloyd has a bad body image of himself. So.
I know. I'm only good from the waist down.
Keep going.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, keep going.
This is great. But yeah, it was like a little 1 inning stint. Kind of started to build from there. And I mean, I got repercussions for trying to come back that fast. Shoulder wasn't healthy enough for it. The rest of the arm had problems. Like it was kind of day to day trying to.
Hey, body built by hard work, man.
That's right. Built by Reyzelman.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it wasn't like that in high school. If you found one in high school, it would be pretty bad.
He's like, no, he's in good days.
Start digging.
I'd have to like go to Facebook probably, like old school Facebook.
I don't know if you have a
Please
Facebook
don't,
anymore.
Jesus. But yeah, no, I mean, it just kind of went downhill. Couldn't maintain it. Literally struggled throwing 90 in the strike zone.
Wow.
It went downhill pretty quickly and had to rebound from it. Took a while. Kind of towards the end of the season, I kind of just understood that I was going to throw, 88 to 92, and I had to throw it in the strike zone and kind of owned that a little bit. Had a bit of a better, last finish to the season.
It probably made you learn how to pitch.
Yeah.
At that point, right? You couldn't just throw the ball and blow fastballs by guys. So it probably made you realize, okay, I have to kind of hone in on spotting up and understanding how to pitch and change speeds and do things like that.
It did. It did. That was kind of what the last part of that season did. And kind of throughout, there'd come up a couple things where, me and my head coach weren't exactly on the same page with things. And, I wasn't exactly sure what I was going to do going into the summer. I wanted to stay. I had, a bunch of buddies on the team. Really wanted to, compete for that team. But kind of as the season ended, a couple things surfaced, and I decided we were going to enter the transfer portal. Made that decision with the family. Thought it was the right thing to do. And leading up, I was actually supposed to have a contract in the Cape throughout that season, and was told that my performance in the season wasn't good enough, so they racked it. And it was kind of on me, so me and my advisor kind of went to the drawing board a little bit, and he helped me out with a couple opportunities to go work in Southern California on the body a little bit.
Where'd you go?
So we went, let's see. Well, I went. I stayed in a hotel for a month on my own in Ontario.
Not Canada.
No, Ontario,
Not
California.
Canada.
That's okay.
So it's kind of like an hour east of LA, like right in the mountains. Cool spot, but a couple facilities there, pitching place, PFA. Dave Coggin, he was a big league guy, and he does all the short arm path stuff. So like Giolito. So that's his thing.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen some of those guys using that. It's like a thing you wrap around your hip.
I see it. That's like a big thing for the pitchers using it's like keeps their arm tight.
Yeah,
right?
he created it. It's his invention. And went down there, worked with him, and then workout spot. So kind of every day was literally the same thing. It was wake up, breakfast, go work out, go throw.
That's awesome. That's like the dream of like trying to get back, like just having that set schedule.
I loved it.
Yeah,
I mean, I'd known, anyone there that I knew just kind of was able to do it on my own, reflect a little bit, think on what I wanted to do with it. And was able to, within like 3-4 weeks, get a temp offer to go out to the Cape with another team.
Nice. What team did you end up playing for in the Cape?
Harwich.
Hey, me too.
Yeah.
I played at Harwich. Who's your coach?
Stevie E?
Yeah. How great is he?
I love him.
Dude.
I love him.
This guy has the most energy you have ever. He's the greatest. He was
literally
one of the
summer ball
most fun
ever.
coach I've ever played for. I was only there for 2 weeks. I had to go to USA trials. And to be honest with you, like, I was happy I played for Team USA, but I wanted to go back.
Yeah.
Because the Cape was so much fun. And the competition is better in the Cape than it is for USA.
Why'd you get silver then?
Huh?
Why'd you get silver?
Because Cuba beat us. Cuba was cheating.
Oh.
I'm just joking. They're not
Breaking
cheating.
news.
They just have the Cuba national team is basically like their collegiate national team is the same as their national team. Like if you're playing,
It's like the old school hockey thing.
Yeah.
With
The Soviets.
Right.
Yeah, the Soviets.
Anyway, sorry. Go ahead. So then you went to the Cape. You went to the Cape and played for EZ.
Yeah. Oh, he was the best. It was so fun. And then
Little life.
had an outing there. Waited a week to get my first outing there. Came in relief against the team I was supposed to go play for.
Love that.
Didn't
Fight
take
game.
me. Yeah,
Lance
came in
Field.
bases juiced, one out in like a tie game. Struck out 2.
Oof. What were you
And,
throwing?
Well, so it's actually kind of a funny story behind it. I didn't know how hard I was going to throw out there. Like I got my velocity back up in Southern California, but I didn't know what I was throwing in the Cape. I didn't have a gun, in the bullpen or two I had beforehand. So went up there, kind of went in blind.
I know where this is going. Keep going.
And I go, I struck out the first guy. And so I got a chance to kind of turn around.
And did you feel it? You're like, damn, that came out good?
Yeah.
Like, you felt it?
I was
Okay,
like, that was money. I was like, you know what? Like struck him out. I think it was a fastball. And I checked the board, 89.
Oh, wow.
And I went, I'm done. I was like, I'm done. Like, I'm not getting picked up. Like, Jesus, like, what's going on? And I was like, you know what? I got to get this next guy. Screw it. Got to get him. And got the next guy. Looked back on the board. I really put some on, like, one of those pitches. Checked it again.
Pump this thing again.
I was like, no, I really let this one go. It was 90. I was like, It's like, oh,
Then
God.
you realized the guns in the Cape weren't good.
Well, I did for a second. I was like, there's got to be a reasonable explanation. I'm not going to worry about it. Got the K's. Like, we're in the game. It was super fun. Like, literally the most jacked I've ever been coming off that mound.
More so than Sunday?
Yeah, we saw you Sunday.
Not more so than
All right,
Sunday.
that's what I want to get to. We're eventually get to that because that fired me up.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say this is like a Dennis Quaid moment. Have you ever seen The Rookie, where he's like he pulls off and he throws for the speed gun and it won't light up?
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
That was you.
Yeah, well, basically, it kind of, yeah. And so I walk off, like my outing finishes. Next guy comes up, Carson Seymour. The dude's like, a beast. He was like 96, 97 with a 91 mile an hour banger.
Oof.
He got picked up.
Yeah,
he got picked up like, I think he went like 6th or 7th round next week.
Wow.
So he was just in there getting some, some coverage for the draft. And he comes in and I'm like, all right, well,
I'm gonna see
Carson's got to be like 90, 91, right? First pitch, 96. Like, I'm dead.
Oh, you're like, damn, so it's not the radar gun.
No one was telling me a thing. They thought it was the funniest thing. They knew I was tripping a little bit, but like, I was still in the game. Like the guys were like, I could see a couple kind of laughing, and I was like, dude, this is bad.
Yeah.
We finished the game. I get home, and I actually got a call from the coach at Oregon, and he said, he had a couple scouts there, and that it was 95, 97.
There we go.
And I was like, one, that's like the hardest I've ever thrown. Never hit anything above 96. Never sat there or anything. And so I had found out the guys were messing with me a little bit. Someone accidentally like tapped the like radar stand or whatever, and then they fixed it right before the next guy came in.
Oh,
So it was off. But it was just a funny little
that's awesome.
tidbit from
That's
me.
honestly, to be honest with you, that's probably that was actually probably better for you. Like, hey, you know what? I just got to go worry about getting this guy out and not worrying about how hard I'm throwing.
Absolutely.
That was probably better for you mentally, for sure.
Yeah.
But dude, how much did you know you're like, I have to be throwing harder than this? Were you just like, dude, there's no way?
I didn't like process it, so I was just like, it is what it is. I was just like, it is what it is.
So then Oregon calls you. How did you end up at LSU? Like, what made you? Did you always like LSU? Did you know about LSU, or did Jay Johnson come to you and say, hey, I got to have you? Because I know obviously he was at Arizona, so he may have been familiar with you. Did you ever play against him? Like, how did that come about?
So
He was probably running the gun, dude. He was like, I'm going to get him done.
I mean, like, I had started to learn about Jay as I watched the College World Series in my hotel room that month. And I watched those interviews. I watched his team play. And I had, kind of texted a couple people in my family, too. And, like, it was right before he got the LSU job, too. I was like, man, it'd be really cool to play for this guy. He looks, he looks like Players love him. You know, really calm, composed. The team has a ton of fun. They take a picture after every game. I thought that was the coolest thing. Like,
right. He brought that over here.
He did. He did, and we love that.
Yeah.
And really kind of started to get that in my head a little bit, but it kind of all came by chance. You know, I threw that inning that night. The next morning was when I kind of got all the offers.
The next morning. So one day.
I woke up and then just like a bunch of calls.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
Yeah. So got a bunch of calls, and I was
guns wrong, boys.
my roommate was Cade Beloso.
Oh, okay.
So I
borrowed
Cade's
some work.
car. Yeah. A little bit.
Okay.
A little bit. You know, he was like, I don't think he thought it'd even be like a thing. He didn't realize it kind of until, you know, Coach Kelly and Jay had called me. But I borrowed Cade's car to go to the gym, drive back, and as I'm driving back in his car, Coach Kelly calls.
Meant to be.
And he literally, like, after like 10, 15 seconds on the phone with him, like, I did not need to hear another conversation. Like, I committed that night.
Wow. So you like Coach, you like him.
He's
as
awesome.
a pitching coach. I've heard nothing but great things. I've met him a little bit. I know him a little bit. But he seems like he's awesome. It seems, I mean, there was big question marks, obviously, with the pitching staff this year. I think y'all have been the bright spot, especially the back end of the bullpen, you in particular. What was his conversation to you? What did he tell you? Like, hey, we want you to be part of our anchoring our bullpen. Like, we have a spot for you in the bullpen. Or did they say, hey, we want you to build up to be a starter? Did you have the option to do both? Or did they say ahead of time, hey, we're going to be out the pen?
I think, you know, first and foremost, Coach Kelly knows exactly how pitching staff needs to be run. I mean, he's the best guy in the world to do it. He understands us. He understands what we're good at, what we're not good at, what, you know, we have that's going to help us win. Like, he just gets all of it, and he's extremely talented in that. And so immediately kind of he thought that, you know, I would have a lot of success in a back-end bullpen role. And, you know, he talked to me, you know, kind of throughout the fall, throughout the spring, checks in all the time. He's like, you know, like, what are you feeling? Like, are you confident in this, confident in this? I'm like, yeah. Like,
yeah, number one.
If you can hit it, you can name it.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I literally trust anything you call, anything you do, any decisions you make. Like, I'm just, like, you tell me I'm going to do it. So, like, 100% trust in him.
What have you topped out here, velo wise?
Well, so I think my main
digits yet?
The main outing, the scout guns behind the dish, I was told had 100, but
hey,
I think it's got to be on the board to, you know, to
okay. What's the most on the board? 98.
It was 99.
99. In a game or in like a real game, or was it like a scrimmage or?
It was the Sunday main game.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Poor Maine.
That's fun.
Dead man walking.
Coming to throw in juice.
I will tell you though, the last hitter, he was a freshman, and it was his first collegiate at bat, and that dude, like, after the first hack he took, I was like, all right, this is gonna end in two ways. I'm either gonna, you know, get it by him, or he's gonna hit it 480 feet.
Hey, sometimes that's the best way to go. Hey, here it is. See if you can get it.
Dude, his helmet like just fell clean off after his first swing.
And you got to buy him. He almost broke his back.
Yeah, he was that was a fun at bat. Yeah, that was a really fun at bat.
That's a good way. That's a good way to enter yourself into the LSU community. Hey, you see that 99 on the board, boys? I'm here.
Who's that?
Here, I ain't going anywhere. I guess we're going from 99. So going back to last week, right? Obviously, you've kind of built up that role this year, right? Like you kind of came in like, hey, this guy's got an electric arm. He's going to be a big guy for us in the bullpen. You've had outings where you threw, was it 3 innings when you struck out 7 out of the 9 guys you faced? You pitched on Wednesday last week, and you pitched on Friday, off on Saturday, and pitched on Sunday, right? How gassed were you? I guess, let me preface it by saying, when you had that on Sunday, when you had the bases loaded, and you K'd the guy and it said 92, I don't know what it was on the board on the thing, but on the TV, I wasn't in the game, on TV it said 92. And in my mind, it's like, damn, this guy's gassed. He's been pitching all week. He's not just throwing one inning. Like, he's pitches, you know, for some reason or another, maybe there was a bad play, a misplay or something, you had to throw extra pitches. But to go out there and nut up and say, you know what, I may not have my plus heater, but I'm just going to outcompete you and just beat you in the biggest moment of the game, like, to me, that showed a ton. So I don't know if you were gassed, but if you were, more props to you. And if not, what were you feeling in that moment?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, that's why I play. Like,
yeah, no doubt.
For me, that was the peak of
just for your information, like we love that shit. The crowd loves that shit. That's like Baton Rouge, like that's what they want. Like they want you to show that you care, show the emotion, and not fake. Like real genuine adrenaline in the big moment, and that's what that was, and that was special. Yeah,
I mean it was fun, and I kind of knew, like, you know, if there's a blue pit, like if there's, you know, something that don't go right or whatever, like whatever it may be, it's like it's on us to be able to control that. Like,
no doubt.
You know, that's a part of pitching. It's a really big part of pitching, is to be able to deal with stuff that doesn't go your way. But I think that, you know, Coach Kelly came up and had that mound visit with me, and, you know, he asked me, he was like, "You're gassed." And he's like, "I know you're gassed." And I looked at him, I was like, I didn't confirm or deny. I didn't go, "No, I'm not gassed," but I didn't say, "Yes, I'm gassed." Like I went,
"Take this
I have
ball
enough
from
for
my
him."
cold dead hands.
I was like, "I have enough for him," and he was like, "You do?" I was like, "Yeah, I have enough for him." He's like, "All right, I'll go." He's yours. Let's go. And so I literally, like, I mean, I just did everything I could to take it out of, you know, a place that, you know, I had to dig a little deeper than normal to find. But for me, like, that's the most fun. That's what we prepare for. And, you know, if it leads up to moments like that, I'm excited to keep
and
going.
I promise you the moments are going to get bigger and bigger and more exciting, and you're going to be right in the middle of it, and I can't wait for it, because when you come in, so I feel like they treat you as the stopper, right? Like, whether you're closing a game in the 9th inning or you come in the 6th in a big moment, like that's kind of the new age way of using your best reliever, right? In the big leagues, Josh Hader comes in the 6th inning sometimes if the bases are loaded or guy on first and second. They assume that, okay, this is the moment right here. Like, this is basically the make or break moment for us. We need to put our best guy on the mound, get us out of that, stop it, and then bridge the gap, and then we'll be able to close it. I feel like that's kind of how they're using you. I don't know if you're going to evolve into just being a 9th inning guy, but I like that role for you, because to come in there and throw fucking cheese and say, hey, here it is, you can't hit it, and have that mentality and the competitive, like, I love to see that. I don't know if that's how they're planning on using you, or how you feel if that's how they're using you, but that's what it seems like to me.
Yeah, I mean, the coolest part about this team and the pitching staff specifically is, like, we have 17 guys that could do exactly what I've did on Sunday. You know, the moments that a couple I've gone into, a couple Devin's gone into. You know, you've seen Paul in a couple of those. Sammy Dutton has been absolutely, you know, dealing. And so you have so many guys that have something specific to them that's special, that brings something, you know, that it changes hitters' eye levels. You know, like, every single guy that we have, there's no similarities in pitching styles. Someone's got a banger, someone's got a fastball that, you know, has a little jump.
You got Riley Cooper out there.
Yeah.
The dude's a gamer.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. I love him when he's on the bump. No doubt.
Like, that dude came in.
I've seen you shirtless. I haven't seen him shirtless.
I'll tell you this, like, Saturday when he came out, after that inning, he had bases loaded, and he comes out and he was juiced. It was a double play. It was the double play that got him out of that bases loaded jam. And he got that play. And that guy is, like, the calmest guy off the field. You know, he's the most easygoing, the funniest dude.
I bet. I bet. I mean, he's right on brand.
What you see is what you get.
That's exactly what I'll anticipate. He probably likes beer.
Comical.
What?
Yeah.
He doesn't drink. I don't think he's ever drank in his life.
Okay, never mind.
Wow. What the
But
hell
still right on brand minus that. Funny guy
Never
for
in his
sure.
life. Yeah. He's literally, like, everyone's favorite person. I mean, like, you won't find someone that has any problem with the guy. It's awesome.
That's awesome.
And so he comes out of that game, and normally, you know, he's calm, collected. He's just a gamer. And I'm, like, the first one out there with Grant Taylor to greet him after that inning. He grabs my right arm, and I swear he threw me like 15 feet.
Really?
Like
Big,
out of
strong,
pure excitement. Like, he was like, you know, he was like banging his chest, grabs me, he's like, yeah, throws me. And I was like, Jesus, man, this is like the only time I'm going to be not mad that I just got absolutely tossed.
Right.
15 feet. And I was like screaming, but, like, he grabbed my like that. That dude's got some strength.
Damn, that's fun. I see him on the mound. I see what he's doing. Like, he has some bad luck early on in the year. So, like, numbers as a reliever, as a guy that doesn't have a ton of innings, like, your numbers get inflated on, like, fluky games. Like, I understand that. But he was nails on Sunday. He finished the game out. What is the message that Jay has given to y'all? Because, to be honest with y'all could have easily been 3-0. Y'all could have been 0-3. Y'all could have been 2-1. Like, there was Friday and Saturday game, I felt like y'all could have won. It slipped away. That happens. It happens. But I felt like Sunday y'all kind of flipped the switch and turned the corner. Y'all rallied. Y'all came in. The pitching staff kept the offense close, allowed the offense to score some runs, and y'all had shutdown innings. And that, to me, from a staff and a team, like, that's the biggest thing. Is like, hey, y'all scored a couple. We'll get the boys back in the dugout. Y'all get back in there, score some more runs. We're going to shut them down again. And I feel like in the ninth inning, they made the 2 big defensive plays to kind of seal the game. And I think that's a big, big move coming into this weekend because you're going to go on the road, play in Gainesville. I hope you'll beat the shit out of Florida. But what is the message that Jay is giving y'all? You know, I think y'all are very, very close. I don't think that there's any reason to panic, obviously. I'm hoping that's what he's saying to y'all.
Yeah, I mean, he had a couple conversations with us. I think the most meaningful one was Saturday after the game. And you won't find one guy on the team that disagrees with one thing that he says. Like, after the games, during the games, in those talks, when he's mad at us, when he's happy with us, there's not one guy that goes, man, like, that's BS or that's not right. Everyone is on the same page. And for that to be the case with, whether it's win or loss, I mean, for him to unify us like that and do it the way he does, he's best coach in college baseball, hands down. And that's, I'm telling you, it's going to be special because if this is the way that he deals and the team deals with just a little bit of adversity. We're going to bounce back in a pretty strong way.
No doubt.
Wow.
No
Don't worry
doubt
about
on
me
mine.
over here just putting a futures.
No doubt on mine. So I appreciate you coming. I can talk to you all day. I'm not going to keep you all day. I know you have practice tonight. I don't know what time you have to get to the field and do all your stuff, but I think if the boys have a couple questions, I don't know if y'all have anything specific y'all want to ask. If not, I'll keep asking questions. But
No, I would say one thing. Just I was at the game Wednesday night. Whenever you came in and like they brought you in, like Mikey was saying, it's like you never know when exactly you're going to be used. But did you feel that whenever you came off the mound Wednesday, and like the crowd I was in that like that section where the bullpen is, and people were like pumping you up, and you gave like a little point to everybody, like, fuck yeah, dude. Like, you gave that little juice, even in a midweek game. Like, do you feel that love from Alex Box already, even though that's just, we're barely into it yet? Like, do you know how special this place can be? He can speak to it more than I can, but, like, where you are and the moment you're going to be in, Alex Box is going to be something special, and I think you got just a little taste of it, but do you know how much it could be?
Oh, no doubt. I mean, the people are incredible.
Stories.
The people are unreal. Like, some of the stuff that I hear when I'm sitting down in the bullpen, like, everyone wants to have a conversation. Everyone's positive. There's no one that, like, for all the...
You have 65-year-old women that are still keeping books. Yeah. Like, they do. It's unbelievable.
No, the people are a different breed. I mean, everyone is in love with their baseball and just extremely supportive of the team. And this environment is, I mean, obviously it's new for me, but it's...
But coming from where you came from, is this like not culture shock, but a little bit of a culture shock? Like, holy shit, they do care this much.
Oh yeah.
This is Major League Baseball. This is as close to Major League Baseball as you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Before you get there.
Yeah, before you get there.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been told. I mean, guys have said that, and literally until some AAA teams, but most big league teams, this is it. And it's special. I'm literally like just count my blessings every day. Like, my biggest thing. When I'm in trouble on the mound or something goes wrong, like my clear, just take off the hat, look at the logo.
Love that.
Just kind of.
Hey, as we talked about earlier, slowing the game down. That's how you do it. You figure out mechanisms to be able to slow your heart rate down. Clear the mechanism. Right? You figure out ways to do it. I'm glad you know that movie. Sometimes that may be less level before your time, but you know it obviously. You understood the thing. Do you have a question? Do you have any more?
You're a starter, and now you come out of the pen. What do you like more?
And they're both fun. I feel like they've both got their pluses. I mean, the pen definitely has has a little more on it.
Yeah.
I think
Into
that
the fucking tank.
The juice.
I mean, especially with like those 1 or 2 inning outings, like to be able to just reach back and chuck every pitch is fun. It's really fun.
No doubt.
And starting, I mean, some guys are able to do it where they do that every pitch and somehow they have gas, to last them 6-7. I know that kind of my stuff has changed a little bit. I definitely have more. I definitely have more like more stamina, more ability, to last longer. So I don't know what it would be like if I was to extend a little bit. I think I'd probably have a little more in the tank, but I mean, relieving is fun.
Do you prepare
really
mentally differently?
That's a good question, Jackie boy. That's a good one.
Yeah, I think I do. I think something that Coach Kelly and I have kind of talked about, works for me, or he thinks works for me, and I think he's right, even though sometimes I don't like to admit it, is, I'm best when I don't know when I'm pitching, when I don't have the time to get in my head a little bit.
No radar guns.
Think about it. No,
I wouldn't worry about those anymore.
Sometimes looking back kind of helps at the gun a little bit for me, like because I know whether I put it on that pitch or whether I didn't. And for me, when I take off the strikes, I lose the strikes in a little bit. So I tend to throw more strikes when I throw harder. So sometimes it's not a bad thing, but for me, like mentally, yeah, like when I'm just kind of told get off the bench, start throwing, and I don't have the time to get in my head, what am I going to do here? What am I going to do here? And I just go pitch. That's I think when I'm most successful. So. That goes both ways. Starting, you have your routine where you get to lift on this day, you get to throw on this day, you get your bullpen, you get to do it that way. So I think there's benefits to both. And I mean, every guy I think, should be able to attack both with confidence.
I agree with that. Did you have analytics as like the big
Hoopty
thing, right? Everybody's talking to. I believe in analytics. I think that there are a lot of positive to it. I think there should be a happy medium. Yeah. Is there an emphasis on that? Like I know that like when I look at scouting reports before I play, it's no longer fastball velo. It's no longer just fastball velo. Hey, this guy has some movement. What's his breaking ball speed? It's hey, this guy's IVB is 19. This guy's induced vertical break. This guy's side to side. Like, do they talk about that? I guess at LSU, or have you heard that, or have you talked about the more analytical side of pitching? Yeah,
I mean a little bit. Definitely enough to where it helps. I think that we have Rapsoda, we have TrackMan, we have all those things available to us. The Agatronic cameras, and I think pitch design wise, when we were working on off speed, when we were doing certain things like that, we do use it, and we get reports back every game about our data that game, spin rates on the fastball, vertical break, horizontal break. And
do you have a super high fastball spin rate?
So my spin rate, it's on the higher end.
Yeah.
It's like 23 to 2,500, but it's not. Yeah.
It's like Jesus Christ.
The induced vertical break is what's kind of been starting to go higher and higher. I think, the way that ball's approaching the hitter.
Reyzelman.
I think
get it right.
Yeah, and mine is like on the higher end of both there, but it also has horizontal break. Mm-hmm. But when you look at like the induced vertical break numbers, Bryce Collins and Ty Floyd have ridiculous fastballs.
I told you, I'll tell you. That's why Ty Floyd throws so many.
Yes.
What is it, 20 plus?
Yeah. Like Bryce Collins, every single one of his fastballs is 2,500 or 25 inches of induced vertical break.
Wow.
Bryce Collins. Ty Floyd's like 20, 22, 24. He's got.
So now, anything over 17 is like good.
I was going to say, explain this to the people.
So like, if you're at 16, that's pretty normal, I would assume, right? Yeah. Like 16. Anything over 16 is above average. Yeah. 18-ish, 19 is probably...
What is it? What is induced
vertical break? So induced
break?
vertical break is basically like...
I know
people talk about like a rise ball, of balls like rising. That's not the case. And he probably knows more than I do. Induced vertical break is basically like the way you just see a ball as it's coming to you, gravity naturally brings the ball down. So if the ball's coming down... am I speaking this right?
Yeah.
So basically, if you have high induced vertical break, if you have a 20 plus, that means your ball stays on plane longer. So it looks like the ball rises, but it just stays on plane. Gravity is not pulling it down. Now you could go in more depth. That's what my understanding of it is.
I'm like giving like the the little,
Something
the
else.
little, yeah, like I don't read crazy,
Either.
into that. Like
Either.
for me, like when I'm on the mound, like I just
Fucking chuck it.
That's how you should be.
I just throw it and let him hit it.
That's how you should be.
But for a lot of guys, they read into it. My roommate Bryce is obsessed with it.
Yeah, I feel like that's the new pitcher. Like pitchers are obsessed with it. I know it as a hitter because I know this guy has. They would call this guy has a riding fastball. Like I know that I have to work on staying on top of this, at least with my approach, because this ball's not coming down. It's gonna play up. Is what happens. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, it's like how much it would move without gravity.
Yeah.
Basically.
There we go. So that's kind of the dummied down version of it. I was trying to make it a little bit, make sense. I'm glad I'm not stupid.
Yeah,
I'm not very smart. I'm not that smart, but I can fake it. But dude, I'm looking forward to it. I don't want to keep you all day, and I'm gonna let you get out of here. We're almost
What
at
class
1
was
o'clock.
let out early?
That was a kinesiology class.
Oh,
Which
he was.
one?
It's like we just have a bunch of.
Society?
It's with Dorothy Jacobson. She's like,
Bro, you're fine.
Who? Who is it?
You
D. Jacobson.
D.
Well,
Jacobson's still
It's D.
teaching.
Jacobson.
Sadly.
D. Jacobson is my teacher.
yeah. So it's a bunch of guest
D, I
speakers kind of
turned
learning
in that
about.
homework on time, and you did not take it, and now I'm here. This is your fault.
No, yeah, but it got out in like 15 minutes, and I had plenty of time.
D's
What's
great.
the class when you have a guest speaker come in? Is it that one?
Yeah, yeah.
The one that comes in
But-
every day.
Yes, literally. Like, but today,
You get an aide to fill out a paper about the guest speaker.
You just have to show up, dude.
well, today our guest speaker like called in through his phone,
I love this
and
guy.
and this guy, like, we literally couldn't hear a word, and she was just like kind of letting him go for like a little bit, like just to be nice, but like, I mean, we really couldn't hear anything, and we're supposed to like write in like a paragraph about what he says, and we could not hear a word. And after like 10 minutes, he was like, "All right, any questions?" And she was like, "Yeah, no, we're good. Just leave." So
That's awesome.
it was
That's a good
it was
day.
quick one.
It's a good
Yeah.
Monday.
Great day.
Yeah.
What a
That's a good
class.
Monday. Bro, thank you so much for coming. This is awesome. I'm gonna have to have you back on later on in the year when you're blowing 100 by people and we're getting right in the smack dab in the middle before the tournament starts. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be here, but regardless, we're gonna have
That's
video.
what I was gonna say. 10 pitches. You versus Mikey.
Well, I hope he throws me heaters.
Well, nobody's gonna throw you heaters, but I'm just saying, what do you think success rate is?
Well, I mean, that's not, I mean, that's a tough question.
Yeah.
He's supposed to get me out 7 out of 10 times. At least more than that, probably.
I'm just making sure he thought that too.
I mean, maybe.
I think it'd be kind of fun to just throw this down and then just see
I would
the
love to see
velocity versus the exit velocity.
I would love to see it.
I would love to see it.
I would love to see how the
I
ball
love to see
comes
that,
in.
Jackie. Would you love to see that?
How hard could you hit it? That I would love to see that. See,
Or could I hit it? I just got to hit it at this point. Yeah, that'd be the number one thing. I just got to figure out if I can hit it or not.
get up to a Dylan Cruz exit velo.
Hey, that guy. How special is that guy?
Ridiculous. Oh my god. I do like my BP job is I toss to Coach
fastballs?
Fitzgerald for for fungos. And we kind of just sit there, and every time he comes up to bat, we both like just look at each other and go,
No, he's special.
every day. Jesus, man.
We're talking a little bit about this because I think I've always said this, especially the way he's been playing center field. I think he's going to go 1-1 next year.
Yeah.
People don't give Cade Doty enough credit on how good he really is. Before I let you go, I was going to let you go. Can you kind of give a little insight on how good he actually is as a baseball player and like how good he has been this year? Because he's been and arguably probably the best player on the team right now.
Cade?
Yeah.
Cade's ridiculous.
I think he's going to be a first rounder this
Yeah,
year.
I share that same belief. He's special. He just doesn't get out.
No.
I mean, he literally just like he gets the job done. It's not only like he doesn't just poke balls through the 4-hole. Like,
Right.
He
Going up and up
lines
with the juice
balls.
box.
Yeah, like ridiculous. Like he lines balls in the right center. I mean, he'll like any fastball mistake he punishes. I mean, he's got way more power than people give him credit for.
Yep.
Smooth in the field. I mean, he makes,
bunnies.
especially this weekend, he made some real tough plays.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
No doubt.
he works super hard. I mean, I think Cade all around is an incredible player. He definitely should go in the first round.
Yeah, no doubt.
100%.
See? We're big Cade Doty. I mean, I'm big everybody fans, but nobody's talking about him, or they aren't talking about him enough. So I'm a big Cade Doty fan. I'm trying to push my agenda of being the Cade Doty fan club here. I gotta get him in here. He keeps. I have his number, so I'm gonna get him in here at some point. Hopefully,
what's his
hopefully you're
picture?
the domino effect. You come in there, like you go and shove on Wednesday. Hey, see what happens? Or on Tuesday, you come in, you dominate.
I'll
the
tag
next day.
someone in. I'll tag
Yeah, let's
someone in.
get someone in here.
I'll tag someone in.
Say it's not. Look, this is not. We're not trying to get you guys here and ask you tough questions. Like it's just a fun. You see, we fuck around basically. We're just shooting the shit. You know,
Dude,
like,
you want Coop in here? Come on.
I want him in
You
here.
want Coop in here?
I do. I want him in here.
I'm gonna get Coop in here.
Perfect.
I'm gonna
love
get
that.
Coop
That's
in
gonna be
here.
his favorite person.
You won't let him out of the studio.
I can't
I'm telling
wait.
You won't let him out of the
We're getting
studio.
him in. We're getting him in here.
Dude's
No
hilarious.
doubt. I'm gonna get him a job at Barstool.
We need. I
Is it?
think they need some Coop merch.
Oh, we're getting.
They-
Well, I'll
What
get
should
some
we
cool
do?
merch. I'll make some. We'll
Yes.
get some made from him.
Oh my god.
Boom, we got it. We're getting him in. He'll be our next guy in.
The mullets.
Yeah.
How long are we riding here? I've been doing it for 2 years, and I feel like I didn't start it, but I'm just happy to see it. And Coach is cool with all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he
Hell yeah.
lets us do, what we want to do, and I'm telling you, like, the dynamic is unbelievable. You just won't find a group of guys that
How
that love
important
their
is that
coach
to
this
y'all?
much.
Like, whenever you get to a team, like I feel like that's the most important thing in my mind. It's like, oh, dude, we're all riding together. Like he's with us, so the chemistry of it being able to be on that team, like you look forward to going to practice every day, as opposed to like I don't know if you've ever had like a bad coach where like, bro, he didn't know what he was doing. Like I don't want to be here, but like having that like camaraderie that you're talking about, I feel like is so important. That's what makes teams, because we had Chad Jones in here and he talked about like the dynamic of having like championship mentality. Like they both played football and baseball. And it's just unbelievable to me, like the difference when you walk in and you're like, dude, we got a little something different. And it
Yeah.
feels like y'all have that the way you're talking about it.
Yeah, no doubt. I think that one of the big things before I came here when I was in the Cape, I talked to a bunch of guys that were at Arizona that he coached, and talked to a bunch of other guys who go to different colleges and have different coaches. And I would say like 8 of 10 guys would want to start like a 15-minute conversation on why they don't like their college head coach.
Right.
Then I'd get to Jay's guys that played for him in Arizona. Even though he had just left to take a job at LSU, those guys talked incredible about him.
Right.
Wow.
And I didn't even tell them that, I was wanting to go there or had already committed. Like I just asked guys, blindly, guys who'd play, guys that, I'd see over there, and the results were crazy. And it spoke
Yeah.
exactly to what he does. And I mean, you pair him with Coach Kelly, Coach Fitzgerald.
I'm a big Coach Kelly guy.
I told y'all he's great. He's
man.
a difference
Okay.
maker,
Looks
dude.
good. He walks around like he's got a 10-foot dick.
He's literally like he's more fun. He's more fun to talk to than some teammates. Like
Yeah.
like he's literally like
A guy.
the
Yeah.
funniest dude, like the coolest guy, the most personable.
Oh,
I think
yes.
the most personable coach you're gonna find in college. He's so funny.
He gets
so
it.
funny.
He understands it. I mean, his cousin is Kelly, the pitcher. He pitches in Korea.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he knows it. He's been around it. Like
it is his
he
cousin.
he's he gets it. So I mean, I can see it. I
Savvy
talk to
sold
him, and I can
separately.
savvy sold separately. You like that? Yeah. It took a little bit. That landed. I like that one. Landed. I like that. All right, dude. I'm gonna let you go. I don't want to keep you. I know you gotta get to the field. Got some stuff going on. Definitely want to have you back on at some point down the road. Let us get Coop on here.
No doubt.
Put a good word in for
I
us.
will.
Say, hey, these guys are fun. We're not trying to do anything crazy. We're just trying. I want to give you guys a voice. I want you guys to talk, know y'all's story, and so people can kind of be a little bit more connected to y'all. But I'm gonna let you get out of here.
How bad does
And,
turf stink at Ruston?
Don't answer that question.
Answer it.
We're gonna be back in 30 seconds. I'm gonna get Eric out of here, and then we will be back and shut down the show.
Appreciate it.
You're watching Mik'd Up, brought to you by Sterling Automotive.